Thank you. I give the call to the member for Perth.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker.
Assistant Minister.
Two big things happened in 1987. The first was that Western Australia in Fremantle hosted the America's Cup. That was a wonderful thing for Western Australia and this whole nation. The second thing that happened in 1987 was that Labor appointed a minister for small business. Didn't happen under the great hero Menzies, didn't happen under Fraser, didn't happen under Treasurer Howard. It was Labor that appointed the first minister for small business, because we have been an ongoing supporter of small business across this country, and we have acted time and time again. And then we get to the great lie of the Liberal Party. I'm not talking about the great lie of Back in Black, the other great lie that that side say that they always back small business. Well, let's look at what the so-called friends of small business actually do when they're in government. Firstly, they lie to small business about who is actually the treasurer of the nation. They give small business secret ministries in resources. They leave small businesses of Australia who pay tax, they leave them with $1 trillion of debt. They leave small business with $1 trillion of debt to pay back. Now let's look at what they do for small businesses in the car industry. When they were last in office, they closed the car industry, closing down small businesses who were reliant on the car industry. And then you think about our small businesses who have to trade with our Pacific neighbours. And that side I should say, choose to elect a leader who jokes about the Pacific Islands drowning. But the list goes on. You won't be surprised. When it comes to people who are in small business who need to put their children into childcare, they had to pay 41% more because of the incompetence of the other side. When it comes to wasting money and restricting the way that people can actually spend their money, they forced thousands of people onto cashless welfare, meaning that they couldn't spend their money in small businesses, wasted $170 million. But the waste goes on. Small business, many of them digital in this day and age, not the fax machine side over there, but those digital businesses we're trying to build. What sort of an NBN do they get from those opposite? They got miles and miles, tens of thousands of miles of copper, $128 billion wasted on the NBN. Small businesses waiting to get more workers. They left 1 million people on the visa backlog. They left small businesses with a secret 20% energy price increase, and they changed the law to keep it secret till after the election. They wasted $100 million on sports rorts, shifting money from small businesses who could have been building sports infrastructure to marginal Liberal seats on colour-coded spreadsheets. They wasted $20 billion on JobKeeper. And then when it comes to the choice, when they were faced with a choice in Western Australia, do they back Western Australian small businesses or do they back Clive Palmer? Who did they choose? They chose Clive Palmer. And then, after they gave up on supporting Clive Palmer, what did they choose to do? They chose to write $1 million cheque. Again, not $1 million cheque to the small businesses of Western Australia. No, $1 million cheque to Clive Palmer to pay Clive Palmer's legal bills. But I shouldn't be that surprised. This is the same WA Liberal Party who had tried to privatise Western Power, sending up power bills.
Minister, point of order from the member for New England.
I think it's one on relevance and one on misleading the House. There was no cheque written by the coalition to Clive Palmer.
Look, I do not believe that the issue of relevance is a matter here, and I'm not sure of the detail if cheques were or not exchanged, but I am happy to ask the Assistant Minister, if he needs to withdraw the word cheque in that conversation.
I'm always happy to take a lecture from the member for New England on accuracy and relevance, and in this case, I will say that however the money was passed to Clive Palmer to cover his legal bills from the Australian government when it was led by those opposite, they did it, And that was money they could have given to small businesses and instead chose to pay Clive Palmer's legal bills. I'll leave it there, even though I lost some time.
Time has expired, indeed, and I give the call to the member for Forest.
Speaker, and like my colleague